Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, it's 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗃. Thank you for coming. Well guys, in today's video, this is something that I've always been talking about a lot on this platform, and because I am so much on calling my brothers and sisters in the diaspora to come back to the motherland and visit and live and invest in and do all these things, because it is your motherland, it is your ancestral right. Like I always say, it is your home. My ancestors that were taken in the times that were not so good were taken away from their lands, from their families, and separated. So you, as a descendant from them, you are so very much welcome to come back home, because it is your home. So when I see these kinds of videos, I don't even get mad anymore. Like guys, first watch this clip, come back, and let's talk about it.
Hey, is it just me or anybody else getting inundated with people telling you we don't come from Africa? Look, let's make something clear. A public service announcement. I have been swabbed, tested from African ancestral DNA. Okay? I come from Africa, baby. Okay? I'm not indigenous to the Americas. Okay? I'm not a Native American Indian. I'm not any of that. I understand that all life migrated from Africa. Are we the Aboriginal people of the world? Yes. But baby, I come from Africa. Now I'm okay with your, I come from the Americas. I'm okay with that. That don't bother me. What that is none of my business. But please get out of my inbox, get out of my comments telling me we don't come from Africa. Because I come from Africa. My people are Igbo people, okay? Bantu, okay? I come from Africa. Leave me alone, because you're starting to sound like an agenda. You know, like the colonizers. Can you please stop telling me that America is Africa? So not only are you black Indians, you are now Africa don't even exist. Keep your agenda out of my inbox.
Hello, ma'am. I love your videos. I love your content. And I'm a follower of yours. However, this video concerns me, because there is something that you do not know about who you are. And people just wave the word around Africa so loosely that you actually think you're from Africa. Well, let me just advise you, and a lot of us are not aware of this, do not get your DNA done by 23andMe and Ancestry, because what they're doing is they put your DNA into a database. They know who you are. They know you're not African. That is the word that has been given to us. We're not from those lands. Matter of fact, if you go do your history on Africa, the continent, United States is a lot older than Africa, the continent. Well, so let me just put you on some game. What concerns me is the fact that you said that your ancestry comes from Africa. They cannot date you back over to Africa, and you ain't never been to Africa. So what you said is actually incorrect. So let me just advise you. Those landmass were not here a certain amount of years ago. And there is no such thing as time, so we can't even put a time nor a date on it. However, Egypt is here. If you go back and do your research on who you are and not do it based on what you're being told, you'll understand that this landmass was here alone. And over time, other landmass became prevalent, or they rised above the water. Now, not only that, ma'am, let me also make you aware is that the Nile River is over there by Tennessee and Mississippi. So what you're not aware of is that when they found out where these lands were, they enslaved our people from these lands and they shipped them to the 4 points of the world. See, that's where they got you. You wasn't taken from Africa. If you go do your research on Africa, they only have one slave port. If you do your research on America, we have multiple slave ports. So This is just me giving you some insight on actually what's going on. Like I stated before, this is no disrespect to you or your content. However, I do want to make you aware that you ain't never been to Africa. You always been here. Then everybody say that they want to be Africans, but if you go over into Africa, they will kill you because you're not from those lands. They know who they people are. Stop going based on continents or landmass, because you're going to become confused. We're actually from these lands. We've been over in these lands. We never left. But when they came and tried to capture us, what they did was they put us on these small boats. And with these small boats, they transferred us to Europe, Spain, Africa, China, Japan, Russia, and also Germany. And we was already in Australia. The information that has been provided is actually incorrect. We are not from Africa, but if you want to continue to be Africans, please feel free to go to Africa and watch what happens to you. See, they're not telling y'all that a lot of people that are from America that saying that they're Africans are either being they're actually being terrorized or they're being murdered because they know who you are.
As you've seen in the video, that's an African American woman or black woman from America. She was excited to come out. Now she did a DNA testing and she got to find out that her lineage is in West Africa and that's where her ancestors came from. So she was happy to share that news on the internet. And then out of nowhere, this other lady, the second lady, comes in and wants to disregard the excitement of this lady on how she's proud to be African. Like, no, you are not African. Those DNA tests are lies and they are not accurate. We are from America. We are not African. These people are using the DNA test to separate us from our land of America. This is our home. And as an African, one thing I would want to say is, I have no problem with black American people or just black people in the diaspora who feel like America is their home, indigenous home. I have no issues with that. I always say this: if you feel like you have the ancestry of the African lineage, you are free to come to the motherland, visit, come meet people, come see the culture, come embrace who you truly are and see where your heart truly takes you and just be there. But if you feel you don't belong to the African continent, stay in America. Like, I do say that bluntly, openly. Nobody's forcing you to come to the motherland. I don't force anybody to come to the motherland. The other thing that she said is the United States of America is older than the African continent. I don't have to argue with that. If that's what you believe, that USA is older than the African land, it is very fine for you, but you don't have to come and kill the excitement of other people embracing their lineage of their ancestors, which is in the motherland, with you saying we are indigenous to the Americas. And then she went on and said the American people, black people in America, were put on boats and transported and taken to Africa, to Germany, to other places of the world. So what she's saying is the slaves that we say came from Africa, our ancestors that were taken, didn't fully come from the African continent. No. They came from the USA and then they were taken and put on the small boats and then they were brought to the African continent. And the other thing that was so funny to me is saying the River Nile is in Mississippi. I don't know, that's what she said. Me as a Ugandan, I know that the River Nile starts from the Lake Victoria, which is in my country, Uganda, and goes up to the Mediterranean Sea through Egypt. That's the River Nile that I know. I don't know which other River Nile she was talking about. So I just don't want to argue with the people in other parts of the world that are black people that feel Africa is not their origin. It's okay if you don't feel that. If you feel like you're indigenous to those lands where you are, it's very fine. It's very okay. You don't have to be forced to come to the motherland. What I know as an African, my people, my ancestors used to travel to different parts of the world and settled there. But just because they went and settled there in those lands for thousands of years, it doesn't mean they never came or originated from the African continent. That's what I believe. She also went on to say that if you are so excited to come to the African continent, that when you come, we Africans are going to off your life and finish it, which is insulting. How can you say such a thing? So we Africans, the big continent of 54 countries, we are just waiting for our descendants from our ancestors to come so that we can take their lives. You won't survive because we are barbaric. What does she mean by that? That we know our people. I tell you, majority of the time, when you come to the African continent, people always assume you are born in the continent itself and then you went to live and grow up in the West. That's what people always assume, even with that accent, even with your American accent, even with your UK accent. I'll keep talking about these people and exposing them because it's getting out of hand. But one thing I will not argue with is to argue with you of whether you're African or not. If you don't feel it, please don't be it and don't force it. Stay where you feel comfortable. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.